Hello, everyone, and welcome to our Youth Appreciation virtual ceremony. I'm Liz Blose, Event Planning and Logistics Coordinator for the Pocono Chamber of Commerce. We appreciate you joining us today as we honor 8 amazing students from our community. Before we get started, I would just like to go over a few housekeeping tips. I would like to remind all the attendees that this is a closed webinar and that you have been muted by our host. No one can see or hear you, so you don't have to worry about interrupting the presentation. We do, however, invite you to utilize the chat feature to celebrate our students and engage with one another throughout the program. To all of our community leaders who have the audio and visual controls, please be sure to mute and unmute yourselves throughout the presentation when it's your time to speak. Lastly, I would like to suggest to everyone that if you have headphones near you, go ahead and plug those in. The videos submitted by our students today vary in audio and video quality, so the headphones will really help you hear our students the best. I'm so glad we're able to all come together virtually today, and I'm glad we're able to utilize this platform to bring this event to life. Now it is my pleasure to introduce my amazing boss, the Executive Director of the Pocono Chamber of Commerce, Marlyn Kissner.
Well, thank you so much, Liz, and thank you to everyone who's here today participating in our program. On behalf of the Pocono Chamber of Commerce, we are just thrilled to be able to bring this to you virtually. I want to thank our amazing sponsors. A shout out to Alana Roberts from PPL. I know Don Seipel from St. Luke's, our friends at First Northern, just everybody that has that ability to help us do the things we do. I just want to say thank you so much. Also to our awesome dignitaries for being here today, but honestly for being with us every single day, every week as we navigate a lot of the different things that are happening in our communities. And really, I want to thank all of our school officials. I want to thank the families, and especially all of you, our amazing, amazing students, for all that you've overcome. We are so excited to celebrate you. Very much so. And again, thank you to Kristine Bush, our chair, Michael Moreno, Liz Blose, and Lauren Spence, all of the chamber staff for coming together to really make this day happen. So again, have a great program. We love all of you guys, and the chamber is absolutely here for you. Thank you, and I'm going to turn it back over to Liz.
Thank you so much, Marlyn, and thank you for all you do for us and our entire business community. We all appreciate it so much. So now I would like to take some time to recognize the organizations who made it possible to bring this event to you all today. Thank you to our presenting sponsors, First Northern Bank and Trust, PPL Electric Utilities, and St. Luke's University Health Network Monroe Campus. I would also like to thank our bronze sponsor, Sonia Sweet Inspirations. It's the support of organizations like this that allow the Chamber to continue to host these virtual networking, trainings, and open discussion forums. So thank you for allowing us to bring these amazing resources to our communities. Now I would like to introduce Don Seipel, President of St. Luke's Monroe Campus, to make a few remarks. Thank you, Don, for being here with us today.
Thanks, Elizabeth. I appreciate the time. And, I just want to welcome everyone on behalf of St. Luke's. I want to congratulate all the students today that are being recognized. I know that this is a, kind of an unprecedented time for all of us, but as students, I really challenge you all to find the positive, in the last, 2-3 months. And, I think the resiliency that you're learning through this pandemic will serve you well as you go through your education and you get into the workforce. And you're gonna be faced with challenges throughout your life, and that resiliency is really really important to successfully navigating those. But I really can't thank all of you enough for just really working hard this school year and being recognized. And St. Luke's is here. We have a lot of opportunities from a nursing standpoint in the medical field, and we hope to see some of you in the near future. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Don. I would now like to invite Alana Roberts, Regional Affairs Director of PPL Electric Utilities, to make a few remarks. Thank you, Alana, for joining us.
Thanks, Liz. On behalf of everyone at PPL Electric Utilities, we're happy to recognize all of the 2020 graduates and we congratulate those individuals who are being recognized today for overcoming adversity. PPL has a long history of supporting education in the communities we serve. In fact, we just celebrated our 100th birthday yesterday. Through the years, we faced adversity, and we have found ways to overcome and are stronger for it. The students, too, are stronger and wiser for overcoming the challenges that they have. We congratulate you, and we wish you much success. And if you choose to live in your education or start a business in our service territory, we'll keep the lights on for you. Thanks.
Thank you so much, Alana, and happy anniversary to PPL. We truly appreciate all you do for the Chamber and our community. I'd like to recognize our final presenting sponsor for the day who was unable to join us, First Northern Bank and Trust. Thank you to the entire team at First Northern for your continued support and all you do for our community. Lastly, I'm going to read a sweet note that Carl and Sonia of Sonia's Sweet Inspiration sent to today's honorees. They mention, congratulations to all those recognized for achieving great success while facing adversity. Your foundation has been tested and strengthened. We are excited for each of you and know you will continue to do great things for yourselves, your families, and your community. Much love, Sonia's Sweet Inspirations. So thank you so much to Sonia's for being today's bronze sponsor. Now, without further ado, I'd like to pass it back to Mike Marino, who will introduce us to today's honorees.
Thank you, Liz and Marlyn, for your great support making this event happen. I also want to thank our Education Committee, Kristine Bush, and all of the members, as well as our presenting and bronze sponsors. I would also like to thank our school representatives. We have worked so hard to gather all this information, and I know it was not easy, but certainly worth it. I am honored to have been able to meet you all and learn more about your amazing students. So without further ado, let's meet our students. Isabel Mott. She's from Pennsylvania CareerLink and Youth Employment Services. She loves helping others, especially kids, loves to sing and listen to music, and is passionate about the fashion industry. Please meet Ivan Oliver of East Stroudsburg North High School, who enjoys creating digital music, is interested in music production and sound engineering. Please meet Josiah Moret of East Stroudsburg South High School. He is an awesome leader and mentor to young students, smooth as silk on the basketball court, an inspiring rapper and songwriter. Please meet Faith Warden of MCTAI. She's the first place District Skills USA Restaurant Service winner, third place Pro Start Management winner, and Skills USA Ambassador. Please meet Ryan Honey of Pleasant Valley High School, who enjoys building race cars and taking them to the drag strip. Please meet Diego Lugaro of Pocono Mountain East High School. He enjoys listening to music. He also enjoys cleaning and keeping things organized. Please meet Philip Williams of Pocono Mountain West High School. He enjoys playing video games. He enjoys listening to music and playing the piano and is passionate about technology. And lastly, please meet Jessica Craig of Stroudsburg High School School District. She enjoys watching anime, enjoys spending time with her family and watching movies, and enjoys taking walks in the nearby park. These are 8 fantastic awardees and have all unique characteristics and have also overcome so much. Thank you, and I thank them for persevering. Please welcome Kristine Bush, our devoted chairwoman of the Education Committee and Chief of Staff for Senator Mary Scavello.
Good afternoon. My name is Kristine. As Michael stated, I'm chair to the Education Committee for the Pocono Chamber of Commerce, as well as Chief of Staff to State Senator Mario Scavello. Even though we are in the midst of this global pandemic, these students powering through life's challenges and overcoming obstacles to get to where they are today is remarkable. And we would be remiss if we did not honor them. First, I would like to thank the Pocono Chamber and the team for this vision to host this program virtually. Michael has been my gem during this, and he's done a great job of making me look good, and I truly appreciate all the hard work he put into this. Second, I am so grateful for the teachers, administrators, counselors that helped make this program a reality today. Your continued leadership for these students has helped shape their future, and we truly, truly admire you and appreciate everything that you do every day inside and outside the classroom. And finally, I want to share my heartfelt congratulations to the students that have been awarded today. It is such a pleasure to hear about what you have done, what you like to do, and what you plan to do for the future. So we just want to congratulate you, and I'm going to introduce State Senator Mario Scavello to make a couple comments, and here he is.
Good morning and good afternoon, and congratulations to all the students. And like Kristine, my chief of staff, stated, the thanks goes to the teachers, the administrators, the counselors, and you, especially all of the students, for what you've been able to accomplish. And to tell you, we always enjoy, whenever we're not in session, I always enjoy going to these events when we're honoring students, because I truly feel that you are the future of our Commonwealth and the future of our nation. And we did give you certificates and on behalf of all of the elected officials, and in recognition of receiving the 2020 Youth Appreciation Award from the Pocono Chamber of Commerce Education Committee. You have demonstrated great perseverance and accomplishment in the face of adversity. In the face of adversity. This experience you have gained has prepared you to excel in all you do. On behalf of the Commonwealth, we wish you all the best as you prepare for your future success. God bless you all.
Thank you so much, Christine Bush and Senator Mary Scavello. Now please welcome Representative Rosemary Brown.
Can you hear me? I'm sorry. Better?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. It looks like it put me on mute and then off mute. So I'm sorry. But we are really, really proud of you as students, and we love this event. So we love to be there personally rather than virtually, but this is very much appreciated from the Pocono Chamber doing this. But I have to tell you, I read through to all the students, all of your nomination forms and what people had to say about each one of you and your stories and the personal situations that many of you have been through, the loss of loved ones, the change in your home environments, and you came through those challenges and obstacles that probably broke your heart in many directions and have moved forward in such a great way in order to get nominated and have these positive comments spoken about you as far as your outstanding characters and your abilities to show leadership in your schools. And it's just so wonderful. So proud of you. I thank you for being a great student. We look forward to seeing your success in the future. And obviously, if you ever need anything, please reach out. I'd be more than happy to work with you or answer any questions for you in the future as well. So God bless and the best of luck to all of you.
Thank you so much, Representative Rosemary Brown. I really appreciate all you have done to donate the wonderful gifts and personally bringing them to their homes. Amazing.
Thanks.
I would now like to introduce Representative Maureen Madden. All right, I do not believe she is present, but she did also bring gifts on behalf of Senator Scavello and herself personally to some students who were able. So we also thank Maureen Madden and her generous donations and her leadership. So thank you. I would now like to introduce our Commissioner, Sharon Lavender.
Hello. Thank you all for this opportunity. And let me say, I'm honored after 43 years in education. And now you've given me this honor to represent the Monroe County Commissioners with a certification of distinguishing that June 5th, 2020 is Youth Appreciation Day right here in Monroe County. All honored students have much to be proud of. The path was not always smooth, but you all have conquered the bumps. And before I read the certificate, that I want to let you know that it will be mailed to you next week. And by us declaring this as Appreciation Day, your honor in names will be in Monroe County history. So now let me read our declaration. From the certificate appreciation from the Greater Pocono Chamber of Commerce, 2020 Youth Appreciation Day, June 5th. We call it a path to success. The Monroe County Board of Commissioners are pleased to honor the following individuals for special achievement and recognition. Isabella Mott, a talented young lady who has set amazing goals. Ivan Oliver for never ever giving up. Josiah Moret for being a role model for other students. Faith Warden for pursuing dreams. Ryan Honey for his understanding of loss. Diego Luago for hard work in school and home. Jessica Craig for staying focused while battling sad times. And Philip Williams for never letting a communication issue spoil his dreams. These students have used the challenges of the day to set goals for the future. They have all started down the path. The future is very bright for each and every young person being honored here today. And thank you so much for the work that you've done. And I wish you all very well in the future. I believe we have Commissioner Kristi that will be saying a few words as well. Thank you all.
Hi, my name's John Kristi, Monroe County Commissioner. I'd like to start off with my little quote from Mark Twain. He said, "Attitude, not your aptitude, will determine your altitude." You guys are the COVID-19 class of 2020. You've all worked and persevered through unknowing times. You have weathered a terrible storm to get this far. And then I'm going to close with my little favorite person is Teddy Roosevelt. And he said to preach that the highest form of success, which comes not to the person who desires mere easy peace, but to the man who does not shrink from danger, from hardship or bitter toil, and who out of these wins gains the splendid ultimate triumph. You are all welcome to the arena. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Chairman and Commissioner. Those words truly were heartfelt. I would now like to introduce our school representatives who will also introduce their student. First off, Kristi Hammond from Pennsylvania CareerLink and Youth Employment Services, a career guidance manager for PA CareerLink Monroe County.
Good afternoon, everyone. First, I would like to thank everyone for joining in on the first ever virtual ceremony to highlight the pivotal role of our local youth in their fight against oppression, and to thank the Pocono Chamber for their continued efforts of hosting this event. My name is Kristi Hammond. Today, I am representing the PA CareerLink NYES for this year's nominee, Isabella Mott. This young, vibrant woman began her journey with us in the 2017 YES Project Success Program. She was referred by an amazing group of foster care service workers who always went above and beyond for Monroe County families. Just 3 years ago, this shy student walked into the session. I could see the potential she had and the help she needed. I had the pleasure of getting to know her for who she is rather than her past. She is proud, she is brave, and she is so lovable. It broke my heart to discover the hurdles she endured at such a young age. But what amazed me is to see, even with all her struggles, she continued to fight. She taught me to have hope, no matter the hardships. We are so proud to give recognition to a young woman who faced her challenges, denoting unprecedented circumstances, and to congratulate her on her many achievements. I present to you Isabella Mott.
Hello everyone, my name is Isabella Mott, but everyone calls me Bella. I would like to thank Yes and CareerLink for nominating me for this award, and I would like to thank the Chamber for hosting the Youth Appreciation Ceremony. I've been asked to talk a little bit about the hardships I've faced. So when I was younger, I was taken away from my mom and given to my grandma, who wasn't really much better. When I was 12, I was given to a foster family who then adopted me a few years later. I used to visit my mom all the time just for my brother, to protect him and my sister. I saw how bad she still was to him, so I decided to save him from her. I decided to bring him into my family. I would like to thank everyone who's helped me, who supported me, because they're the ones who turned me into this person I am today. I'm hopefully able to pursue my dreams of one day being a fashion designer, and it's all thanks to them. They've helped me overcome all my struggles, and they've made me a better person, and they've just helped me all along. Thank you.
Thank you, Kristi Hammond of CareerLink and Youth Employment Services. We were now able to get Representative Maureen Madden on the call. Representative Maureen, now is your time to make a brief introduction of yourself.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Sorry for the technical difficulty, but the new link worked perfectly. It is such a pleasure to be here virtually and honor you. I was able to meet many of you yesterday: Jessica, Philip Williams, Ryan Honey's mom, Jody, Faith Warden, and Josiah, and you are all such impressive young people, and I'm positive, absolutely positive, you're going to do wonderful things in the future, and you already are. I went to Ryan's house, and he was working in welding, a graduate of MCTI in the welding program, and as many of the speakers before me said, you have already faced such challenges and such adversity and come through it, and it's brought you to this day where you're graduating, and we are celebrating you. And please enjoy your success and enjoy the gifts that Senator Scavello and I collaborated on, and I brought to you yesterday. And if there's anything we can do for you, don't hesitate to reach out to our offices. And again, congratulations on a fabulous achievement.
Thank you, Representative Maureen Madden. I would now like to introduce Douglas Beckworth of East Stroudsburg North High School.
Good afternoon, distinguished guests and honorees. First and foremost, I would like to take this opportunity to thank the Pocono Chamber of Commerce for hosting this prestigious event and express gratitude to Mr. Moreno and Mrs. Spence for their expertise in assisting us with this virtual presentation. I am honored as a representative of the East Stroudsburg North High School faculty and staff to aid in presenting Ivan Oliver with a 2020 Youth Appreciation Award. I have known Ivan since middle school and admire him for how he has persisted through his high school career, coping with chronic physical discomfort due to health issues. Although Ivan faced tough health challenges, he never gave up on his goal to graduate on time with his peers. Ivan has been able to maintain focus and determination, although there were many times when it was physically challenging for him to attend daily classes. His teachers noted, despite his struggles, he's always maintained a polite, respectful, and positive attitude. We are so proud of Ivan for this resilience and for him never giving up. This occasion reminds me of a quote from Ricky Rogers, a writer, who stated, "Strength doesn't come from what you can do. It comes from overcoming the things you once thought you couldn't." So, Ivan, as we honor you here today, always remember to dream big and to draw upon your inner strength whenever you are faced with obstacles that may seem insurmountable. Congratulations, Oliver. You deserve this special honor. We celebrate you as you graduate and embark on your life's journey. We wish you and your family all the best in your future endeavors. I present to you Ivan Oliver.
My name is Ivan Oliver. I am 18. I'm now graduating high school. This year has been the hardest out of all my years that I've gone through with surgeries and all my issues that I have. I've had 19 surgeries due to my congenital scoliosis and tibia hemimelia. And in the end, I've never really let these get the best of me. I've always had a positive mind. I've had a positive attitude about how my life is, and I never let it get me down. For my future, I've always had a strong passion for music. It's always been a part of my life, and I'm looking into music producing and just being in the music business. Music has gotten me through my surgeries and all the hard times that I've had, and I'm really looking forward to doing something with that. I'm open-minded with career options. There's a lot I want to do, and there's a lot that I know I'm going to get done. Like, I have a passion for video games, for photography, for a bunch of other things, and I'm really going to expect to do something with that.
Thank you, Douglas Beckworth, and thank you for nominating Ivan Oliver. I would now like to introduce Joseph Formica and Ed Mooney from East Stroudsburg South High School.
I want to start by saying we're very appreciative of Michael and Liz and the entire chamber for this terrific event to honor all our students in the county. In a typical day with Josiah Murray, I experienced the whole range of emotions. He makes me cry, he makes me laugh, and he makes me smile. I'll never forget my first meeting with Josiah as I sat there thinking, this is going to be a rough road the next few years. But after some bumpy times that were ahead, Josiah really turned the corner. He has matured and grown as a person. Specifically, he's become a mentor to younger students in his classes. He takes the time to provide all underclassmen with words of wisdom when they need it most to help put them on the path to success. He has touched the lives of all the staff that he has come into contact with at the high school. We're so proud of Josiah, and we wish him well in the future.
Good afternoon, and thank you for having us during this outstanding celebration of our youth. I want to provide a quick anecdote regarding Josiah that encompasses his growth as a student and person throughout his tenure at East Stroudsburg South High School. During one of the final school days this year, I was in my homeroom with my students when Josiah came to talk to me like he often did. While we were speaking, another student happened to come in the classroom looking for another teacher I happened to share the classroom with. Unfortunately, that teacher was not in school, and I explained this to the student. The student turned to leave when Josiah asked the student what his name was and that what he could help him with. The student explained that he wanted to see the teacher about a club that was meeting after school today. Josiah went over to the teacher's desk, took a pen and paper, wrote the student's name down, and told him that the teacher would contact him once he gets back to school. Then Josiah simply returned to talk to me about the issue he was having. I was so impressed that Josiah not only took the time to help this student that he didn't even know, but Josiah had come to see me about a personal issue that he put aside with this student. To Mr. Formica and I, this truly embodies how Josiah grew as a student, and most importantly, his character as a human being. We thank you, Josiah. Congratulations. Best of luck in the future. And we now present Josiah Murray.
Hi, my name is Josiah Murray, and I would like to share a couple words with you about High School South and the teachers and guidance counselors that was brought upon me. It was kind of a struggle when I first came there. I didn't know if I could trust them. It was just like, I don't know, it was just a little hassle, you know. And I was a sophomore. I was like, what, 15, 16. I was going through some stuff, you know. And then after a while, I started getting close and close and close. And they became more than just my teachers and guidance counselors. They became friends, family, and more. Like, you know, things change, and it's hard for me to let go, but, you know, I'm getting my diploma. I'm happy, you know. It's definitely worth the time, you know. Like, for the newcomers, just hold on. Like, they want you to graduate. They want nothing but the best for you. They wouldn't let someone not make it. You know, they push you. You know, they push you to the point that you're gonna have to do it regardless. You know, and if you don't want the help, that's cool. They're gonna chase you. Like, I've seen many people get chased. You know, they try their best for you to make it out of school and be the best person, best person that you could ever be, you know. And I'm grateful for that, you know. And, you know, like I grew a lot of respect from freshmen. You know, I like to make sure they're on the right path, you know. Like, a lot of people look up to me, and I'm grateful for it too. You know, like, I just want the best for everybody, you know. I don't like disrespect, you know, so not that much. So, like, when they, you know, like, not, I don't know how to explain it, but a lot of kids look up to me and they respect me. When I tell them to chill, they chill, you know. It feels good, you know. Like, I'm just looking out for everybody, show us the teachers and everybody else in the school, you know, just in due time. Amen.
Thank you so much, Joseph, Formica, and Ed Mooney of East Stroudsburg South for nominating Josiah Moret. I would now like to introduce Maria Hafler of Monroe Career and Technical Institutes, the Academic Integration Specialist.
Good afternoon. Thank you, Chamber of Commerce and sponsors, for recognizing these wonderful students of Monroe County. Today, I have the honor and privilege to introduce an incredible young woman from Monroe Career and Technical Institute. I first met Faith when she was a quiet freshman. Over the course of the next 4 years, I watched her bloom into a leader and role model for other students. Her culinary instructor, Samantha Armstrong, describes her as driven and passionate about the culinary industry. Her motivation allowed her to start her own business while she was still a 10th grader. She is dedicated to Skills USA and ProStart, and she went the extra mile by competing in various competitions throughout the course of her years at MCTI. She is truly an amazing young student who has never given up on her dreams. It is an honor and a privilege to introduce to you Faith Warden.
Hello, my name is Faith Warden, and I'm from MCTI in the culinary program in Pleasant Valley. As for my story, I'm the oldest of 9 children, and we have a pretty big family. Although it can be enjoyable, it does make life harder and more complicated. As an infant, I spent quite a lot of time in the hospital, and a lot of my family has been sick. 3 of my siblings deal with these illnesses every day. One has epilepsy, another with diabetes, and one of our smallest has a heart condition. My grandmother has cancer and a mental illness. My aunt had a heart transplant, which was extremely scary for us. And these events and sicknesses all happened during my high school career. And finally, my great-grandmother, who was extremely important to me, passed away during my junior year. Even in the times that should be joyful, they just weren't. All this chaos, I wanted to help in some way. And it all started in the kitchen, which is where I found my passion. I wanted to help people that were going through the same thing. So I took my love of baking to the Pocono Cupcake Challenge as a junior competitor. The Pocono Cupcake Challenge raises money for the United Way. I remember my first year, we raised over $60,000. I knew that helping the United Way was important, but I got to see it firsthand come full circle. The United Way helped my siblings' daycare stay afloat during tough times. Seeing the many benefits, I started my own business, the Golden Girls Bakery. I wanted to turn all the sadness into something good, turn it all around. And I'm still doing everything I can to this day.
Thank you so much, Maria Hafler, for nominating Faith Warden. I'm also just going to throw in there that Maria Hafler was my 9th grade English teacher who drove me to join the Health Occupation Students of America, where I also finished first place in a drawing competition. Maria Hafler's drive to push her students to be their best is certainly seen within me and faith warden. So thank you, Mrs. Hafler. I would now like to introduce Kevin Mullen of Pleasant Valley High School.
Hey everybody, I'd like to thank everybody who made this program possible today. I'd like to recognize Ryan Honey from Pleasant Valley, who is also in the welding program at MCTI. Ryan has learned how to deal with adversity while coping with the tragic loss of 2 family members, his brother Austin Honey, who passed 2 years ago, and his cousin Jason Amin Honey, who passed in 2006. We know they are certainly here with us today in spirit. Ryan has built up a great deal of strength from these life experiences. He is definitely carrying the torch for Austin and Jason, making them proud and following in their footsteps and passion for cars, welding, and the outdoors. Ryan is a gentle soul and a true role model for his peers, as evidenced by his perseverance, inner toughness, determination, and kindness. Ryan, we wish you the best as you embark on your new life after high school, as well as your career in welding. We will miss seeing you in the halls at Pleasant Valley. Good luck. And I now present to you Ryan Honey.
Hello everybody, this is Ryan Honey, and I just want to say a few things about my life. I'll start off with my cousin Jason Honey. Back in 2006, a drunk driver unfortunately ended his life at age 16. 2018, my brother Austin Honey passed away, and it was very hard because I was very close with him. And I realized that you got to be grateful for everything that's in your life and cherish everything. I've been in welding for 3 years. I was able to go to an American Welding Society competition for students. I also had gotten a student of the marking period. And now I've been doing all different things, expanding my knowledge to whatever you can think about. I love building race cars. I love going to the racetrack, and that's something I'll always continue doing.
Awesome. Thank you, Kevin Mullen, for nominating Ryan Honey. Pocono Mountain Raceway actually heard of Ryan Honey's story and are getting a signed award from John Force, one of Ryan's favorite drag strip drivers. I would now like to introduce Michelle Kulakowski of Pocono Mountain East High School.
Good afternoon, everybody. I wanted to thank the Chamber for putting this together virtually so that we can still recognize these fantastic young men and women. My name is Michelle Kulakowski, and I am a special education teacher at Pocono Mountain East High School. It is my honor and privilege to be able to present this award today to Diego Lugaro. I have taught and been Diego's case manager for the past 4 years. When I first met Diego back as a 9th grader, he was extremely quiet and very shy. He would hardly have a conversation with you and always kept his head down and looked to the ground. He liked to keep to himself. I realized that I needed to come up with a plan to help this young man become more outgoing and social. I knew there was more in him than what he was showing. It just so happened that my class was in charge of the recycling program at the school. Each week we had to recycle the building. This meant we would have to interact with the teachers and other staff members on pretty much a daily basis. I thought, what a better way to have Diego grow more social and independent than to put him in charge of that program. The rest is history. Diego grew more confident by the day. He put himself out into the school community. He made a point of meeting the teachers and administrators. Everybody knew Diego. I am sure I could go on for days about what a wonderful young man Diego really is. I know that this is not the last time you will hear Diego's name. He is going to do wonderful things. Diego has been accepted into the Project Search internship program at Kalahari for the fall. He also has hopes of one day becoming a police officer. It is my pleasure to introduce you to Diego Lugaro.
Hi, my name is Diego Lugaro. I was born in Harrisburg, in Pennsylvania, 2002. I moved to the Poconos in 2009, I like listening to music, I like playing my game, and I like talking to friends. And I have one brother, one sister, and I have a dog. I go to Pocono Mountain East, as you can see in the shirt, and I graduate this year. And I have a disability. I work hard for what I want in life. So thank you for giving me this for giving me this award, which you what the school gave me.
Thank you so much, Michelle Kulakowski, for nominating Diego Lugaro. I'd now like to introduce Nick Lopuhovsky of Pocono Mountain West High School.
Hi, and thank you for having me here today. I do want to say thank you to the Chamber for putting on this recognition event. It's easy to forget all of the baggage that these kids sometimes walk through our doors with and all that they overcome and still yet succeed. It speaks volume to their resilience. So congratulations to all of you. I'm Nick Lopuhovsky. I'm a school counselor at Pocono Mountain West High School, and today I'm here to introduce Philip Williams. When I first met Phil, it was actually during a conference for his older sister. Phil was still in 8th grade, and he barely spoke, but when he did, it was a challenge to understand and to decipher. The following year, when I realized what kind of intelligence and mechanical aptitude that Phil had, that's when I really began to worry. I worried that this bright young student was going to be limited by his voice to effectively express and share his brilliance and ideas. I was wrong. What I didn't know about Phil was how resilient and determined he was. I didn't know how much he had already overcome, and my fears were simply not his fears. With or without the voice, he was going to succeed. We created internships for Phil, tailored custom schedules, and provided multiple opportunities for Phil to further his education. His abilities always exceeded our expectations. As the years went on, and with the assistance of vocal surgery, Phil finally developed the voice he always had inside. The voice that allowed him to share his sense of humor, his authenticity, his humbleness, his willingness to help those around him, teachers and students alike, and his intellectual gifts. I'm thrilled that he has been able to share himself with us at the West High School, and even prouder to say that he'll be a Duke Blue Devil this coming fall. You've made the West High School proud, and I'm more than happy to introduce to you Philip Williams.
Hi, my name is Philip Williams, and I'm really glad to be here and to be able to speak about some of the challenges that I've had to overcome in my time in high school. I remember as a freshman, I was nerdy. I'm still nerdy. But I was shy, is what I'm trying to say. And aside from that, I had problems with my voice, and I couldn't speak. And I remember having surgery sometime during my junior year to be able to get my voice back and to be able to speak louder. And having that really helped me to be able to speak and actually make friends and make connections and kind of break out of my shell, which I wasn't able to do before that. And aside from that, being a quiet kid it was kind of hard on me mentally. And having people like Mrs. Gross or Miss Thomas or Mr. Lopuhovsky to kind of keep me on track I'm thankful for it. And I'm also thankful to my other teachers who were able to guide me and to kind of show me what each science was like before I was able to settle on one for my career. And I'm grateful for it. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Nick. And Philip Williams, I would now like to introduce Teresa Onadi of Stroudsburg High School.
All right. Hi, everyone.
Thank you to the Chamber of Commerce for holding this annual event to celebrate our students, even in the midst of a very unique time in our country's history. It is truly amazing to hear all of these stories of strength and resilience from other students within Monroe County, and I'm here to speak about our honoree from Stroudsburg, Jessica Craig. Jess transferred to our high school at the beginning of her sophomore year. Her academics have been strong throughout her high school career, holding a solid B average, and in her downtime, she likes to watch anime and hang out with her family, watching movies and walking to the park. Jess's personality is easygoing and became the foundation which her strength and perseverance were built upon during her junior and senior years. The heartbreak she had endured could easily lead other people to give up, but Jess just became more determined to succeed. On Jess's behalf, I'd like to read a speech she prepared for today. Hello, my name is Jessica Craig, and I'm a graduate of Stroudsburg High School. My school counselor, Mrs. Onity, called and spoke of the ceremony that celebrates achievements for students that have had a lot of past struggles. At first, I was hesitant because it's something I struggle with every day, but I thought more about how my story could help others and how I can also heal some of the grief I feel. During my junior year on October 19th, 2018, my mother had a heart attack. She laid in the hospital bed for a week, and the doctors were hoping she would improve, but no improvements were made. They told us there was too long of a period where oxygen couldn't get to her brain, and we were given a chance between a nursing home or to pull the plug. October 26th became the worst day of my life. I lost my mom. The second worst day of my life was March 6th, 2020, when close family friends found my dad dead in his apartment due to an accidental overdose. It ended up being a year and 4 months between my parents' deaths. It's heartbreaking. I miss them every day. My sister received legal custody of me and has helped me be stronger by learning how to cope with my grief and still do schoolwork. I studied and worked hard with perseverance, and now I'll be attending Northampton Community College for 2 years for general studies, and then proceed to another college for 4 years so I can work with animals. I really appreciate the thought of Stroudsburg for thinking of me for this award.
Thank you so much, Teresa, and thank you so much for nominating your student, Jessica Craig. I'd now like to introduce Michael Tequiva, President and CEO of Pocono Mountains United Way, for a special presentation.
Thank you, Michael. Good afternoon, graduates. I thank you as well for the opportunity to depart a piece of wisdom as you embark on the next chapter of your lives. I will begin by telling you that we do not get to choose the time that we live in, the issues we face, or the calling we have. My grandfather once said that if you have something significant to say it twice. So I'll say that again. We do not get to choose the time that we live in, the issues we face, or the calling we have. Each one of you has a calling, and I encourage you to follow that. You have already had a lot of life experience, and you will certainly have more. Some will say that you learn from experience. I will tell you that you learn only from reflection on that experience. In a fast-paced world, take time to pause and reflect. And when you get to where you are going, remember to thank the people that gave you direction along the way. Parents, teachers, mentors, and friends have and will continue to invest in you. Thanking them is your way of showing the return on investment. I will also encourage you not to shy away from the hard things in life. Trust me, hard things are tough. They might keep you up at night, but I will tell you that your fears do not know the strength of your motivation. Your motivation can destroy your fears. Whether it is a difficult class, conversation, or task, go after it. No one has ever said, I learned so much from that really easy experience. Now, there will be times when you mess up in your life. You may have already done so a few times. But almost every mistake can be fixed with a genuine apology and a repentant heart. When you are wrong, admit it and ask for forgiveness. It shows your character and allows you to preserve the relationship. Making mistakes is part of learning. I encourage you to never stop learning. But if you continue to seek learning, you will continue to make mistakes. As a father, I cherish the opportunities when I confess my mistakes to my children. because it reminds them that it's okay to make mistakes as you learn. You are being honored today because of your success. And as you get older, I want to give you my definition of success. Now you could write this down if you'd like. Success is when your purpose and your passion align with what you do. It is not the amount of money you make, the title you have, or the degree behind your name. Success is when your purpose and passion align with what you do. If you aim to be significant, you will end up being successful. In your pursuit of significance and success, I implore you to fight for what you want. If you believe in something, do not ever give up. Pursue your wildest dreams. Be your own best advocate. Be tougher than the world around you. Because I encourage you also then to be sensitive to the needs that are around you. Find peace and rest. And then wake up the next day with all the fervor to go after your dreams again. And with those dreams, take risk. There's no story to tell without risk. Wasted time is more costly than wasted money. Invest in people, not things. Be the author of your own adventure story. And when you get done writing it, share it with me and the people in your life that have invested in you. Graduates, you encouraged me, and for that I thank you. Congratulations, and God bless.
Thank you so much, Michael Tekiva. I really appreciate you taking the time out of your day to address our students, school reps, legislators, and commissioners, as well as chamber staff. I would now like to take this time to recognize all those who have donated to our students: Senator Mary Scavello, Representative Rosemary Brown, Representative Maureen Madden, Representative Jack Rader, Arby's of East Stroudsburg, PA Monroe CareerLink and Youth Employment Services, East Stroudsburg University, Kitchen Chemistry, Pocono Soap, Monroe Career and Technical Institute, Northampton Community College, Monroe Campus, Retro Fitness of Stroudsburg and Marshalls Creek, Sonia Sweet Inspirations, Spice Fruit, TCB Promotions, and the United States Army Recruiting Station of Stroudsburg, Pennsylvania. To our award nominees, there are post-graduation services available, and I encourage you to view this later or contact the chamber. You can find some help at the PA CareerLink Monroe County if you're looking for employment and or internship opportunities. You can reach out to Debbie Smith at Career Services at East Stroudsburg University to find out more about career pathways. You can go to Monroe Career and Technical Institutes if you're interested in a trade. Maria Hafler, I'm sure, will be happy to get you to the right person. Northampton Community College, Dee Ranieri will be happy to talk about their admissions process and the courses they offer. And lastly, if you wanted to serve our nation, you can go to the United States Army Recruiting Station and speak with Sergeant First Class Haynes. All this information will be available to you upon recording on Facebook and YouTube. In closing, thank you all. Thank you to my boss, Marlyn Kissner, for giving us the freedom to lead in our communities. Thank you to Liz and Lauren for the event planning expertise they have given me. Thank you to the Education Committee and our Chairwoman, Kristine Bush, for leading the charge. Thank you to our legislators, commissioners, and community leader, Michael Tekiva, for your support of important initiatives like these. Thank you to our school representatives for going the extra mile each day and taking the time to nominate your students, these fantastic and well-deserving students. I look forward to working with you all again next year. And once again, this program has been recorded for your future enjoyment and will be placed upon the Chamber's Facebook and YouTube page. All panelists and attendees will receive an email after the recording with links to them. Thank you all and have a great weekend. This concludes our presentation.